Chelsea won, Newcastle won. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Finally, the calamity that was this season is over. We can breathe, we can relax. And I would say it ended out on a high. Not the highest of highs possible, not the highest of highs needed, but it still ended out on a high. That was one of the best performances under Frank Lampard, at least. And that is how low our standards have dropped. This is your match review for Chelsea 1, Newcastle United 1. And before we start, do leave a like and subscribe to the channel, guys, if you enjoyed this video. We're trying to get to 500 subscribers by this month or next month. So now, getting into the game, I thought the start was pathetic. I mean, Chelsea were keeping possession, just like the Man City game. We were creating some chances. But again, we conceded very early on because our defense is just pathetic, unstructured, unorganized. We have no defense. We have no team at this point. It's not defense, attack, midfield anymore. We have no team. We have no club. We have no owners, directors, managers, team. We need a full change. Can we just refund the entire club? That's what we need at this point. First goal, very simple goal for Anthony Gordon. I mean, if it was Saint Maximin or Isak, at least it would have been a bit respectable. But Anthony Gordon is who we conceded to. Chalobah and Thiago Silva nowhere to be seen. Azpilicueta got destroyed as usual over the last few weeks. And they take the 1-0 lead, and I'm hoping just for not an embarrassment. Because then they came on the attack again. And I thought this could turn nasty. Because Newcastle are prone to scoring 3, 4, 5 goals every game. And they are still fighting to get third place. So I thought this could get really, really nasty. But thankfully, for the first time in a while, the Chelsea players dusted themselves up, picked themselves up, put them together, and then finally managed to do something. We started attacking. But once again, our lack of striker was shown. You know, people blame Kai Havertz. They say kick him out of the club. Kai Havertz scored 14 goals last season. But that's not how much you need with your best striker at the club. Kai Havertz is just not ready to be the striker at the club. That's not his job. That's not who he is. So I don't think Kai Havertz is the problem. We just need Lukaku to come back and do something. And I have no problem with us playing Lukaku at striker next season because we are desperate. The amount of crosses Madueke put in, Gallagher put in, Lewis Hall put in, it was genuinely crazy. I remember Madueke put in a cross, and if there was a player there, that would have been a goal 100%. I thought Sterling was pretty good today. He was active, back to normal. He was actually creating stuff, and he is what probably led to our goal. Puts the ball in the box. I have no idea whether that was a pass or shot. Trippier had an off day. Somehow just managed to put him in. And yeah, it's a goal, but you can see the Chelsea players didn't really celebrate because it was nothing worth celebrating, if we're being absolutely honest. There was nothing to celebrate. We got a lucky goal, and that's how we move on. Madueke had so many chances, but his end product was off. He did good stuff down on the right wing, but again, the end product wasn't there, and there was no one inside to finish those chances. Then in terms of the subs, we brought on... well, that was it for the first half. Second half, we came out. We started with 70% possession from the second half start to the 60th minute, which was a really bright thing. It was back to normal Chelsea for a while almost. And then we were genuinely dominating the game. I genuinely think we were more likely to win than Newcastle. We brought off Loftus-Cheek, and you can see him waving to the fans, clapping, because it might be his last game for the club. He looks to be going to AC Milan, and it's actually sad because Loftus-Cheek, this season, whose kit I'm wearing, under Sarri, he really started to become this next future England top midfielder until he got injured, and he just never recovered back. It's like Loftus-Cheek was going like this, then his injury put him like this, then he recovered a bit, but he's just going flat like this over the last 3 seasons. Just nothing entertaining, nothing explosive. But he's still a good squad player to have. I don't understand why Chelsea would want to sell him. Another player who's probably goodbye is Mason Mount. We've been talking about it for a long time. Mason Mount could be leaving Chelsea FC. He wasn't even on the bench. He was just... oh yeah, he was on the bench. He wasn't even featured though. He wasn't brought on because he's injured obviously. He was just sitting watching the game. No emphasis on him. He didn't even come out for the final lap. And I think this is an end. It's a sour end. And Mason Mount is going to leave Chelsea FC. I don't see a way for him to stay. And if he doesn't leave this summer and there's no contract talks, it's just worse for us because we lose him on a free then. So that is another problem. Now we come near the end of the game. João Felix has been brought on for Kai Havertz. And then he does better than Kai Havertz at strike, I would say, because he's more of a goal scorer than Kai Havertz, I would think. He gets a header, which is just above. Then the free kick as well, just above. And man, I'm going to miss João Felix. João Felix brought some energy into our season, generally provided some attacking threat. And now he's gone. He's going to go back to Atletico. João Felix has openly said he would like to stay. I'm sure Chelsea want to sign him. There's a lot of work to be done this summer. Let's see what happens in terms of signings, in terms of whether we want to keep João Felix permanently or not. I don't think there's a clause, but maybe we can get another loan and then have a buyout clause on the end of this loan. So yeah, we'll see how that works out. Chalobah is rumored to be leaving. There's a lot of players that might leave. And I don't blame them for leaving. I mean, if people like Chalobah, Loftus-Cheek, who've come from the academy, who've spent their whole life at Chelsea FC, if they want to leave, you just get a picture of how bad this year was. This year was pathetic, terrible. It was a horrible season, let's be honest. We end the season on 12 with the lowest points tally in the history of Chelsea FC in the Premier League. The lowest, worse than 15-16. That was the lowest until now, and now we've outdone that. Well, speaking elsewhere in the Premier League, Leeds and Leicester have been relegated. Leeds are always going to go down. It was between Leicester and Everton. Leicester actually did the job, but Bournemouth couldn't help Leicester out. Everton got a 1-0 win. And that means that James Maddison, Ricardo Pereira, Yuri Tielemans, Jamie Vardy, these guys will be playing in the Championship. Listen to that. And I remember Leeds had such a good start. After the first 5 games or so, I think, they were in the top 4. And they beat Chelsea 3-0, of course. And yeah, they had a good start, and then they just fell off. To be honest, I'm not going to bring Chelsea into this conversation, but if you see the relegation threatened teams, the ones that actually went down were the ones who sacked their managers, and some of the ones that stayed up were the ones that either sacked their manager very early on or just stayed with their manager. You know, you take Everton, they've had the same manager since January, whereas Leicester and Leeds sacked their managers in April, which was way too late to make an impact. Bournemouth, they survived because their manager got changed back in August itself. And it is what it is, guys. This season for Chelsea was pathetic. Oh, talking about manager sackings, I remember Tuchel. You know, if Chelsea hadn't gotten those 10 points, we keep talking about that. Now that the season is over, I can confirm, without those 10 points, we would have finished 17th. Avoiding relegation on goal difference. Can you imagine how bizarre that sounds? I wouldn't have been able to leave the house. I wouldn't have the courage to face people. Honestly, if we genuinely were on the relegation battle in the last day, I wouldn't have been able to face anyone. And imagine if we hadn't drawn against Newcastle yesterday, without those 10 points, we would have theoretically gotten relegated. Can you imagine the scenes yesterday if that would have happened? Gosh, we've got a lot of work this summer, a lot of departures, which ultimately leads to the requirement of a lot of signings. We've got a lot of work to do. So guys, that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it, even if you didn't enjoy the season. Of course, none of us did. Let's hope you have a good summer transfer window. Do leave a like if you enjoyed this video and subscribe to our channel. And I'll see you for the next one. There's going to be loads of transfer updates and news throughout the summer. And I'll see you then, guys. Goodbye.